It's a River City matchup as East meets West in the California capital. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Western Health Advantage. We welcome you inside Heart Health Park tonight. I'm Rob McAllister, and with me is one of the formidable shot takers of all time, and Adam Moffitt, and a guy with really gray hair in Cameron Owasa. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Louisville City coming off a disastrous defeat 3-0 against El Paso a week ago, and now they face even a tougher test in Sacramento, who has 7 points and undefeated start of the year. Adam, what is going on with Louisville City?
Tough last week for them, losing 3-0 at home in their only home match. They have been on the road twice, and it's been in California. It's the third time they've been in California. They've had 2 victories so far. They want to make that 3 out of 3, and this is a side who is so consistent in the USL. They know where the back of the net is. They'll want to get back to winning ways tonight.
How is Sacramento start off so hot, Cam?
It all starts in the back. 3 matches in, they've only allowed 1 goal, and so that's the foundation. It's hard to lose games if you don't give up goals. So looking to get in the net some more as well. Only 1 goal a game to this point, but setting themselves up for another win at home.
Well, it should be a good contest. Louisville City, Sacramento Republic. It's coming up right after this.
The fun has begun. The Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino is now Northern California's premier family fun destination. Get your heart racing on this spectacular 3-level indoor kart track. If bowling is up your alley, there are 18 lanes of fun at the Apex, plus a mind-blowing virtual reality arcade, incredible golf simulators, and one of the best sports bars anywhere. We're taking entertainment to a whole new level. It's the Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino.
How do you build a community that thrives? By staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012. Because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh.
This is the look of a woman who fought cancer for years with no answers. A woman who bravely championed her own health and found a doctor who'd do the same. A woman whose ending was rewritten when she found remission. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
Tonight's presentation is brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage and UC Davis Health. Minutes away from kickoff, but first let's get to our player matchup. We begin with Rodrigo Lopez, an assist a weekend ago, looking to build on that here tonight.
He's the captain. He's the one that makes his team tick. Everything runs through him as far as the build-up and the attack. So looking for him to be very involved, getting the team moving forward tonight.
And it won't get any easier as one of the key strikers for Lou City is back after serving a 1-game suspension for the red card. Brian Ownby has been a force the last couple of years. You expect him to be healthy and ready to go tonight, Adam?
Yeah, former teammate of mine, Brian Ownby. He's getting on in years, but he's still a great start to the season. He's got a goal, 2 assists. He missed that last game. They lost 3-0, so he'll look to get back into winning ways tonight, leading the team up top.
Let's get to our starting 11 here for Sacramento and for the Republic. You'll look at a team here that hasn't made a single change all year. 4 consecutive weeks with a starting 11. I don't know if we've seen this since ever, guys.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Great start to the year, undefeated so far, and looking to build on it.
Mark Briggs, head coach, the they're all black 10th anniversary kids, and for Lou City, let's take a look at a couple of changes here. No Amrou Dia in the starting 11 in that left back position tonight. What do you think here, Adam?
That might actually lead to a difference in how they've played. Typically going with a 4 at the back. We might see 3 at the back tonight, Louisville. We'll just see as the game progresses how they're going to set up, but there's plenty of quality on that lineup to provide a great matchup tonight for Sacramento.
And they are led by Danny Cruz. Both Danny and Mark, very close friends, going head-to-head here, coached together in Salt Lake City. Our referee tonight, Ricardo Fierro. In week 4 of the USL Championship, it's Lou City, who has 6 points on the year. It's Sacramento Republic with 7 points. We are about to get this one started. And it should be a good one between 2 of the best teams from each conference. But we'll do it again.
Those little April Fools there. Is gone.
Exactly. So here we go in Sacramento as the Republic already in the attack, moving forward. Russell Cicerone, the intended target there will be a throw for Jack Gurr and company. Lou City in all white, Sacktown in the black kits. The Republic coming off a victory a week ago against San Diego in a very big win, and a club that is just behind them in the standings with 6 points. Meanwhile, Adam, if you look at Lou City, how do they bounce back after something they rarely see, which is a 3-0 defeat, and yet it came at home in Louisville?
A real shock, and it's so early in the season. We don't really know where teams are going to be, but you definitely didn't expect that with El Paso. Not sure of what they're going to look like. They'll want a response tonight. Danny Cruz will want a response from his men, and as I mentioned before the show, they've come to California twice already. This is their 3rd time. If they can get 9 points from 3 trips to California, that would be a great start to the season for them.
Tried to break forward, just got a foot on it in the back line there. It was Widener. And cut off here defensively. Lou City, a very quality club and not easy to break down. Connor Donovan to give up here, and it's Brian Ownby. Ownby, the 32-year-old out of Virginia. 10 goals a season ago for Lou City. This one's over the top, and the flag goes up for Cameron Lancaster, who's finally healthy. Slowed in 2022 because of injuries, and they are happy to have him back in Louisville City.
Yeah, for my money, he's the best striker in the league. He's shown it consistently when he is on the field that he is dangerous at all times. So definitely something to watch tonight, how the Republic were able to bottle him up.
Sebastian Herrera sending this one to the right side. Gurr in stride, just behind him, comes up off his shoulder, but they'll continue to play on. Cicerone. And spirals his way out of the attack to keep possession for Sacramento. Nicely done by Lou City to get back in defense. Lopez. Gurr. A bit misstruck there, but hit off a Louisville City player, and so last touch by Oscar Jimenez. It'll be Atlas disposal corner kick for Sacramento early on. Got it from a set piece a weekend ago. Can Sacramento find some opportunities here early against a Lou City team who's going to be tough to break down?
It's good to see Jack Gurr getting involved early, getting forward. Looks like Lou City is trying to match that, those wing backs like the Republic have been playing all year. And with Jack getting forward, hopefully he'll be able to pin back Mushagalusa.
Delivery from Lopez, and Cerrone almost with a good look there. Tough angle, and it'll be a goal kick here for Kyle Morton, the 29-year-old. Started 28 games, conceding just 20 goals. That's .74 goals per match. Adam Moffat.
Great math there, Robin. It's amazing you can do that right in your head, but that's a good opportunity. 3 minutes in, you've got Russell Cicerone getting on the end of it. Really tight angle. But anytime as an attacker you can get to the ball before the defender, you'll take that in the opposing box. And it's been a relatively open game so far. Republic failed. Roro had a great opportunity to slide in Damivia there in the first minute, and it was just blocked by one of the defenders. But we could see a little bit more of an open game here.
So many moving parts as you'll see Louis City coming to a pivot of press early on here. Mushagalusa, Lancaster, Ownby. 3 formidable strikers for Danny Cruz's side. Headed forward, whistle comes in. And a reset a year ago, 72 points, first in the East, second best record to San Antonio. They would end up falling to San Antonio FC in the finale 3-1. The second straight defeat in the cup final. Nice move here by Gurr, whipping this ball in. Comes Herrera! Denied by Morton. The follow-up is in! Luis Felipe, back-to-back goals in as many games in the 5th minute in. The Republic have struck first. Ice in his veins.
What a ball in there by Jack Gurr, and absolutely fantastic from Arnold to get in there, get his head on it, get it on frame, make the keeper make a save. Really well done to keep that one out, but then you got Luis there to finish. Slams it home, takes a deflection off the defender, but not enough to keep it out.
That's what Mark Briggs wanted to see this year, is more people in the box. And Luis Felipe's been freed up by Arnold Lopez sitting deeper, and what a delivery, Jack Gurr. Herrera unfortunate not to get his first of the season, but more numbers in the box equals more opportunities for guys like Luis Felipe, Russell Cicerone. What a start here.
And man, hit off the back of Perez here. Deflects in.
Yeah, really tough, because what a save that is, but ultimately too many bodies in the box, and Luis is there to slam it home.
Luis Felipe on a start. You look at two guys who have had a bit of a slow start in 2022, and Jack Gurr and Luis Felipe, and both have really turned it on. Gurr with an assist and a goal scoring wise, and Felipe with 2 goals now, only 4 weeks in. Herrera, look at this, heading forward. Cicerone's breaking free. Giroux just on the right side will slow it up. Herrera comes in, and Felipe will head it down, just unable to find target there. Another great buildup. Quick attack coming from Sacramento from the midfield after turnovers, guys.
Yeah, that's going to be key here, being able to break. I think those opportunities are going to be there, given that this is a formation that Lou City is not necessarily used to playing. So far exploiting that a little bit to our advantage.
Gibson back forward here.
We never saw Roro come out the game, but he's come back in. He's got his head bandaged up. I don't know if he took a knock, some blood on there, so we'll see him in the headband the remainder of the game.
And Roro enters the match here. Republic up a goal. Luis Felipe in the 5th minute on a rebound. Shot by Herrera first. They said how dangerous he is up in the air in the preseason. He had 4 goals. And offside flag goes up against Lou City. And that's the kind of opportunities that Mark Briggs has been seeking, and whether or not they go in, it does create an opportunity. And if you look on that replay, guys, you saw Cicerone ride the box. Felipe was in the right space. Good things happen when you make runs, and what we saw sometimes last year, there's only one guy in the box. Well, this year it seems that has been a big concentration to get more bodies deep in that box and become a threat.
Absolutely, any team is going to be able to defend one guy when especially when you got 2 big center backs, sometimes 3 big center backs in there, and so getting those extra runners following up, it creates havoc, and we're able to capitalize there.
And not sure at Sebastian Herrera falling to the turf, and the official is calling for the medical staff to come in. Not sure if this will be the end of him, because he's holding on to maybe a hamstring here, Adam.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the left hamstring, and that's the look of a man who knows that he's not able to continue tonight. And someone with his experience, we've seen Keko's dealt with this in the past as well. You got to come out the game. It's never great. And he's had a big impact in this game so far. If he doesn't remain in the match, a huge hand in that opening goal.
And Luther Archimed might be the guy to come into the game. Luther was out on international duty last weekend, unavailable for selection, playing with Guadalupe. And will we see Luther into this game early on? Obviously not how you drew it up if you're Sacramento, especially after a really quality look coming from Sebastian Herrera early on. 10 minutes off the bench, and then played a full 90 against Cuba with Guadalupe, this past week and now has an opportunity maybe to make a statement in this game. But there are some options, maybe Keko as well or Zico Lewis. We'll see what Mark does for the time being. Down 10 men, what do you do if you're for Sacramento?
For the time being, you sit tight and make sure you aren't getting broken down too easily until we are able to get that sub back on the field. So, you know, a little bit of team defending for a few minutes, hopefully not too long, but just gotta hold on tight until they're able to get back to full strength.
That ball comes through and a nice slide tackle coming down low is Connor Donovan to break that attack up. And it'll be a throw here for Oscar Jimenez. 7th season with Louisville City, 21 appearances a year ago. Did have a knee injury that kept him out. But back here, this ball's whipped into Owen B and headed away by Shane Wheat. This is the 7th time Shane Wheat has played some minutes against this club here. Should be 4th time. There's Perez moving up. Took over the right back duties. And 33 appearances a year ago. This ball sent in low, cleared away by Jared Timmer. Ball lofted in, Jack Gert. Ball played around. It will be Connor Donovan to clear. It's unfortunate too, because after a goal like that, the stadium's buzzing, and it sort of takes a little bit of the momentum and the energy out of the building when you lose your key striker.
Absolutely, and Louisville's doing a great job of taking advantage of that, keeping the Republic pinned in right now and keeping the pressure down.
Back to Widener, playing center back after spending some time in the youth men's national team. Ball played through, a little deflection, easy enough for Danny Vidiello. Vidiello making his 4th start of the year, allowing just 1 goal in 3 games. 2 shutouts to his name. And give credit to that back line. First time they played together. You have Wheat, Donovan, Timmer, and you add Viader and Gurr in there at times. And what a solid start, Adam, for Sacramento for relatively a new back 3.
It's been a brilliant start for them. New faces, you never know how long it's going to take to mesh and connect, and they really haven't given their opponents too many opportunities either. They gave up the 1 goal here at home. Played down a man in the rest of that game, and still were solid at the back, very connected, very hard to break down. And as we see this substitution here, Keko coming in earlier than he thought he would. Cam, as a striker, as a forward, I know you started most of your games, but were you ever in this situation coming into a game 10 minutes in when you're expecting to come in near the end?
Yeah, it's tough because you kind of have a routine all the time, and so you have your routine if you're starting, you kind of have a routine if you're coming off of the bench, and you don't expect to see the field in the first half if you are starting the game on the bench. And so mentally, you got to flip that switch and be ready to go. And Keko is a veteran professional, so I have no doubt he'll be able to. What I'm curious to see is playing here without a true striker. It looks like Russell's going to move into that number 9 role and maybe play as sort of a false 9.
Curling ball there from the left side, and it's Viader now as Perez battling with Domi shoulder to shoulder. Look at the footwork there. Luis Felipe getting a goal, still doing some of the dirty work. Over the top it goes Viader. Flag stays down. Cross comes in. Cicerone slipping and falling, and a break for Louisville City there as Russell was ready to pounce on it. Roro plays it out wide. Keko. Keko's a guy that Mark Briggs said, likely would be starting, but unfortunately had a bit of an injury. And look at this hustle from Arnold Lopez to keep it in play, and the flag comes up late. But Keko's a guy who had a fantastic preseason, did all the things in training, working up to week 1. Ultimately had a little bit of a tweak, didn't get in, and now has worked himself off the bench here. But this is what we're talking about. Having a deeper team allows opportunities when guys get hurt. Now Keko and Cicerone and Rodrigo Lopez will have to try to pick up the slack without Sebastian Herrera for the rest of the way.
We've seen that a few times so far, players slipping. The field looks in great condition, but it is a little bit thicker. and just we saw the ball skipping over someone earlier too. So you just got to be mindful of that. You don't want to be in a situation where you're causing something to happen by slipping.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues around the world. SelectSportAmerica.com for the latest Select products. Select, the player's choice. Shane Wheat with a ball and a rope. Finding Gurr in stride. Keka will peel off. Cicerone's running the channel. Cicerone coming to his right foot. Russell trying to bring it back. And a battle ensuing with Winder, and Winder does a fantastic job. The 18-year-old center back somehow was able to put his body between Russell Cicerone and the ball. But another fantastic opportunity for Sacramento 15 minutes in.
Yeah, great ball there by Wheat to find Gurr streaking down the sideline, and then a really good through ball through, and unfortunately Russell just not quite able to get that shot off. Really well defended in the end.
Nearly a turnover just the other way here as Kyle Morton has seen one get past him tonight after making a brilliant save on a header from Sebastian Herrera. The follow-up from Luis Felipe in the 5th minute is the difference maker here. And Connor Donovan and maybe to the head of Cameron Lancaster. We've got with the elbow. Here's Sean Tosh, 7th year. He is first all-time in minutes played. He has been a vital part to their back line throughout the years. He's no stranger to the all-league first team 3 times in his career. Turnover, finding Gurr. Gurr is going to spring Russell forward. And out of his box is Morton. We know Russell Cicerone is a very versatile player. What does this mean? He's been playing out on that right with Sebastian up top. What are his duties and how do they change here now with Sebastian Herrera out for the match?
I think it changes a lot being that striker. Keko coming in, and you got that front three of Roro, Keko, and Russell. I think it's hard to find a better 3 from a quality standpoint for the Republic, but you kind of lose that physical presence. So it'll be interesting to see the interchangeability and how they work it.
Right side, here comes Perez with the cross deep and nobody home. An opportunity as Mogel comes in, colliding with Keko, but Gurr gets the best of it, and it'll be a throw now for Lou City.
Part of what Russell Cicerone does so well is he goes and he finds spots, he finds places to play and how to get involved, and he's a little bit more freedom to roam. Now he has to be a little more disciplined as that focal point up top. Can he stay up there? Can he hold the ball up when he needs to? Can he make those runs in behind? Be a little bit different for him.
Registration for Republic summer camps and clinics now available. In addition to lifelong memories, each camper will take home a ticket to an upcoming match in Nepal. For more information, sacrepublicfc.com, camps and clinics. Wheat to the left side, Villader. Felipe trying to spring Roro forward. Felipe has a lot of energy out of the gate already tonight. You can see him really roaming and trying to take advantage, push something forward. And with Arnold Lopez, it allows Luis Felipe to play much higher than we've seen him the last 2 seasons. Cam, you obviously have played Luis Felipe. You played against him when he was in Reno. We've seen how he has grown and become really quite a special player. Day in and day out, though, you got to see it in training. What gives him that extra edge as a midfielder?
Well, he's always been an absolute menace as a defender. He's got these legs that stretch and stretch and stretch, and even when you think he has no chance of nicking the ball, he can get in there and get a piece of it, and next thing you know, he's springing a counterattack. But over the last couple of seasons, he's really gotten involved in the attack and been a really valuable asset with both assists and goals. And so being able to be the versatile 2-way player like that, it's incredible, and it's so valuable for a team.
Gumby-like legs, right? Get out there, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times he turned me over in practice when I thought I had him shielded off. It's wild. Those things just, they bend in weird ways and they stretch so long, and it's frustrating.
When you're right in the goal scoring, we saw in the U.S. Open Cup run, and now we've seen here already 2 in 4 weeks for Sacramento. A hot start for Luis Felipe, team of the week, and here's Owenby with an opportunity. It's just a bit out of his reach, and it'll sail for a goal kick. But Luis Felipe named to the best 11 of week. Not only did he have the goal, but 26 of 31 passes, had a couple of tackles as well. He really does do it all, but when you look at his ability now to move forward, he can almost take more chances with Arnold Lopez back there, Adam.
You'll see him heavily involved in the attack, and more license to roam for him with Arnold sitting deeper, and he's got a great shot from outside the box, and that was close. Mushagaluza almost sneaking through there from the flick on. I think last week was the best game we saw. Mark Briggs had mentioned that it wasn't just a goal for Luis Felipe. He was heavily involved, completing a lot of passes. He was positive. He was going forward. He was winning it like he does, and it's been great having him in the middle of the park for Sacramento, and the stability he brings.
I also think it says a lot about a guy having the disappointing home opener, getting sent off, a red card that was eventually rescinded, but obviously a very disappointing outing for him, and to come back and have the game that he did last week, it says a lot about his mental makeup.
And that perfect hustle there again, Arnold Lopez coming back to save the day a bit. It's such a formidable front four there. Mushagaluza's trying to sneak in. Owen B's throwing his physicality around. Lancaster, of course, up top. And then Jorge Gonzalez, 25 years of age. Another spectacular player up top. And those four really can spring quite quickly, which is why even with some of the players out in the mix-ups, last week's defeat was quite a rarity. This ball's played forward for Lancaster, and just beyond his grasp, and it will be another goal kick here for Danny Vitiello. Now, these two teams met a year ago, but it was September 3rd, which everyone remembers was just a few days before the U.S. Open Cup finale. So not quite a full-strength squad for Sacramento on that evening. A 3-1 defeat, of course. Louisville City going to win that match, but here seems like more of a true head-to-head matchup for these two sides, as Sacramento played it quite careful in the days leading up to the U.S. Open Cup finale. Look at this from Rodrigo Lopez finding Villader. Gers calling forward. He's on the other side of the pitch. Villader will give it to Roro. And Roro will slow things up and bring it back out to Shane Wheat. Still in play. Perez able to keep it on his feet. Perez plays it forward to the right side. Ownby. 32-year-old has Lopez coming down on him, and Lopez sends it out. And Lopez arguing that may have last touched Ownby, but a heavy challenge from Shane Wheat, and Shane Wheat getting a talking to. His Perez appears to be okay.
I think the Republic need to be a little bit careful here. It's been a little sloppy. For me, Louisville has not really created a lot of chances outside of these counterattacks coming off of the turnovers. So for the Republic, really got to button that up and not be giving away chances when you don't need to. This chance comes from an attacking opportunity for the Republic, and all of a sudden they're springing a counter. So something to watch going forward.
Lopez, a little of a knock in the first couple of minutes of the match. May have been on the goal that Felipe scored, and his head is taped up. Herrera out with some kind of leg injury. And so he was replaced by Keko early on in this match. And here's Keko now. Republic right at the top of the standings with San Antonio and Colorado Springs. Of course, Colorado winning today, so one more game in. And this is a bad one back to Lancaster. An opportunity here. Played it forward. Here's Ownby. Ownby, it's there. Connor Donovan, even though a bit of a mix-up from Sacramento. You just warned about it, Cam. Somehow Republic escape, and now can they go the other way? Roro, denied again by Tosh.
Really fortunate there. Ownby ends up with the ball at his feet in the box, and just the touch gets away from him a little bit. A guy of his quality, that's very rare. So lucky to get out of there unharmed.
Ger, underlapping run, to put it back into the corner for Cicerone. Somebody's got to make a run with Herrera out. Cicerone keeps it just along that end line. Now he's in the key with the left foot. Tosh, Morton come together. It scoots in. It's Jack Ger. Oh my goodness! Pouncing like cats tonight. They're all over the front door. They're coming in. It's 2-0. 24 minutes in.
We thought he was going to have a big year, Jack Ger. 2 goals already this season. He's getting heavily involved in the attack, and it's a mix-up at the back for Louisville, one they'll be disappointed about, but he ain't going to score an easier goal than that, Jack Gurr.
And how about Russell getting forward, keeping the ball in play, winning the tackle, and then a lovely ball in that creates the mix-up. But like you said, Jack Gurr, I don't think he'll ever have an easier goal in his career.
2 goals on the season for Jack Gurr, add an assist, 2 goals for Luis Felipe. And Sacramento now with a 2-0 advantage over Louisville City. And I'll tell you what, guys, there's been opportunities both ways. Sacramento has just pounced on it right when that opportunity came and knocking, and this time it's Jack Gurr, and it's 2-0.
You see the error at the back line from Sacramento. They didn't get punished for it. Louisville, 2 minutes later, a little mix-up, and unfortunately for them, it's resulted in the ball being on the goal line, and Jack Gurr wasn't going to miss that opportunity.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal start to the game for Sacramento, but you wouldn't necessarily say they've been the better team outside of the scoreline. They've taken advantage of the opportunities when they've come, but they've also gifted some good opportunities to Louisville, and as you said, have been fortunate not to have been punished for them. So we'll see if this game settles in a little bit, at least for the rest of this first half.
RGV picking up a win against Detroit City, so RGV remains unbeaten. 3 draws, however, to start the year, their first win of the season. And they're right in the hunt. Cicerone turned him around. Here's Gurr. Look at it. Sprinting forward. Jack Gurr. One more touch. Here comes the cross. Sitting across the 6-bar and just picks it up. Morton. Another great move. It almost seems like the guys have an extra step tonight, though. You're seeing Gurr and Felipe. They're kicked it up. And nearly a 3rd goal for Sacramento in the half. That is 5 unanswered goals for Louisville City in the last game and a half now. Calls come in. Donovan has to get a head to it. Louisville City still battling, and Musha Galusa is going to at least be talked to. I'm not sure if he'll receive a booking against Jack Gurr here. Felipe in the 5th, Gurr in the 24th, both on rebounds. And Morton made a fantastic stop against a header, Sebastian Herrera. And then Luis Felipe scored the first goal. This time the attack kept going on a nice play by Cicerone, and Jack Gurr was there.
It's the delivery from Cicerone. You put the back line, you put the goalkeeper in a tough spot, and you never know what will happen. Once again, Sacramento on the attack.
Keko whipping this ball in. Cicerone! 3 goals, 27 minutes. What a dream start for the boys from the West. The Republic are rolling right now, guys.
And it's another service coming from that right side. The Republic, all 3 goals have come from that area. Dangerous balls in, and runners crashing the box and putting some pressure on. And that's just a lovely clinical finish from Russell Cicerone there.
Mark Briggs will be delighted. 3-0 up. They've been close games so far, but the man who came in, we're wondering, would he be ready? He's ready, Keko. What a ball, Cicerone. Great finish. And 3-0, 26th minute.
Keko with 5 assists a year ago. He's added his first here in 2023, and it's all hugs on the sideline. As Felipe Gurr and Cicerone now have all put it in the back of the net, and 6 unanswered goals now for Louis City. What is going on in Kentucky?
And for all the kids watching at home, watch that run from Russell Cicerone. That's exactly how they teach you to do it. Getting across that front post, and you end up with a tap in the net.
Republic #1 in the power rankings by the USL Championship, and while it's quite early, they don't necessarily mean anything. They do show exactly maybe the respect that Sacramento might deserve here, especially after the first half we've seen here in the capital of California.
The question still remained from the first 3 games is the goals. Solid at the back defensively, but weren't quite clicking in the goal scoring department. But That has definitely not been the case tonight, and put the rest of the league on alert.
You would say they were due, though, right? I mean, the chances they've created over the first 3 weeks, there's been plenty of opportunities to score goals, and just they haven't quite found the net. And now it seems like there's a bit of a barrage. Everything's hitting the net that they're putting forward.
It was just a week ago, Mark said you're probably not going to see a lot of 3-0, 4-0 type games. Now, still, there's a lot of time left here. We are not calling this one over, but, you know, maybe if you're clicking on all cylinders, it is not really going to matter. Keko is just bowled over by Tosh, and Keko holding the back of his head, and they'll take a moment to evaluate number 7. And this injury stoppage brought to you by Saha Float Spa. Keko back up and appears to be okay. Choosing the right health plan for you and your family is simple. With Western Health Advantage, check out their affordable plans that have been helping keep our community strong for over 25 years. westernhealth.com.
Good opportunity here for the Republic to kind of slow things down. Now that you've got that lead, trying to contain the game, you know, dictate the flow a little bit and slow things down and try to keep everything in front of you.
Roro's going to look here. What you want to do with this is put it in an area where all it takes is a little flick or no touch at all, and it's going on target. Or you can just pass it back to the defender.
Option C. Gurr is going to whip this ball back in. Morton's got to go back for it, up in the air, and able to get it just outside his 6. 30 minutes gone by, 3-0 Sacramento.
I think he should have done my option on that one there. But
definitely more fun, right?
But who am I to tell him? The deliveries are exquisite.
Widener overruns that one, goes back. How about Morton? He got the Golden Glove a year ago, and now he has seen 3 get behind him tonight. Louisville building here, however. Lancaster just running inside the pocket. He'll find it at his feet. Lancaster is just going to try to make a miracle happen and sends it to the river. I'll tell you what, the fans love it when the opponent sends one deep into the parking lot. You almost hit your car there, maybe, Adam.
I'm having a little look. Yeah, I think it might be yours, actually, Rob. Yeah, your convertible.
My Miata, the center of the, that's okay. It's Miata weather. You know, you got to put the top down.
The fans are certainly letting him hear it, but make no mistake, Cameron Lancaster is absolutely able to score from 30, 40 yards out. He's done it before, and I'm sure he'll do it again.
And that ball is sailed away from Keko and may have been offside either way.
And I will say on that last possession, Louisville were able to break free, but Republic still pressing high and putting in a lot of energy despite the scoreline. And you love to see that. They're not content with just, you know, 3-0. They want more. They want to keep the pedal down.
If you told Mark Briggs you'd be up 3-0, and your Sebastian Herrera would be out of the game 5 minutes in. And now an opportunity again. Felipe finds it at his feet. Cicerone peeling, so is Roro. Here's a chance, and this one's bouncing through. Louisville catches a break this time. And now they'll look to counter quickly. Turning around is Gonzalez. Played along the left side, and Jared Timmer comes all the way out of the back.
Again, it's been a very sloppy game. Republic obviously taking advantage of it, and are loving where they're standing right now, but it hasn't been buttoned up from either side, and you'd have to imagine at some point it's going to calm down a little bit, but it is making for some serious excitement, that's for sure.
It's a lot more fun. And would you expect that coming again against two of the top clubs in all the USL Championship? It's probably not the one you were expecting, but we're enjoying it so far, at least if you're for Sacramento fans. Connor Donovan is going to just put this in space and try to slow it down, but Russell Cicerone has other ideas. And Whitner just getting it back to Morton. That's what you love about Russell Cicerone, kind of a non-stop motor. Gonzalez, O&B, battling Timmer, coming all the way up. Timmer's got to get back. As Gonzalez is filling the gap here, and Lopez coming to help, and he'll commit the foul and smartly just kill this attack here for Lou City.
Lou City have a man down. It's on that last play. Cicerone applying the pressure to the 17-year-old Josh Winder. And I think he's maybe feeling his knee right on that one. It's a tough spot, 17. You're down 3-0. And we've spoke about the national team's experience he's had. Really test your mentality as a youngster.
And maybe another change here, another injury timeout. Well, let's take a look. Crystal Creamery has been building strong bones and bodies with the freshest dairy from the Central Valley since 1901. Taking pride in delivering dairy you can trust. Grab a glass and taste how fresh local can be. Simple, local, fresh. So Widener's still down. They did go with another youngster starting a week ago. And that was Kawasmi Ramsey, a 22-year-old. Invited on trial, and he started next to Tosh, and first time those two had been paired up.
Yeah, at the very least, you just hope it's not anything serious. For a young kid, you definitely don't want to see anything that hinders him moving forward. And it looks like he's getting up and walking off on his own, so that's definitely a good sign.
Meanwhile, the other end here, a set piece for Louisville City, down 3 goals. Felipe Gurr and Cicerone in the first 26 minutes of action here at Hart Health Park. Cameron Owasa, Adam Moffat, Rob McAllister with you on a gorgeous night in Sacramento. Week number 4 in the USL Championship. The Republic have matched as many goals they had in the first 3 weeks. Second chance here coming in. This one bouncing around. A goal line save coming from Connor Donovan. It's a team game, folks, and look at that. One of the best in the USL defensively. Connor Donovan makes a massive save on the line.
Great delivery into the box, and it was Jorge Gonzalez thinking he's got his team one back. He's clawed one back for them, but Donovan says no. He's right place, right time, and another little bit of fortune. It just doesn't fall for Louisville. Sacramento has to be careful. You give them 1 goal back to Louisville here, they know how to get back into this match.
Yeah, and I think Vitiello owes Donovan a beer or lunch or something, because he got caught out, made a mistake there, and fortunately Donovan was there to cover him and get that one, keep it out of the goal.
Lopez finding Lopez, battling, and Tosh looking to turn upfield. Ownby is spraying out to the right side. Here comes Wheat. Wheat battling with Ownby, who's holding the back of Wheat and does a nice job to shield away. And another substitution. Here's Amadou Dia, who we thought might start this match. And now he'll come in for Josh Widener. So Amadou Dia, Jimenez, and Tosh, and maybe we might see a formation change, but maybe not with Oscar Jimenez still in there, and maybe just keep Dia back and Perez still up in the midfield. So maybe they're going to stick with the 3. See how they line up. Yeah, it looks like they're going 4 here.
It does look like he's gonna slot into that center back position, and as far as I know, Amadou Dia has not spent much time playing center back in his career, but I think it might work out given that the Republic are currently playing without that true number 9, that big-bodied striker. So maybe a little bit easier of a slot in for him than it would be in normal circumstances.
And we've known Dia at the time, Sporting KC, and played with Phoenix for 3 years. Originally drafted by Sporting KC, 20th overall in 2015. He does have 2 assists on the year. Back heel from Roro. This ball's out of play, and quick throw in, and the whistle will come in, and it will be Sacramento's ball. This gives a chance to hear a word from our sponsor at Caltrans.
Why do you do quick. You ignore the signs and the flashing lights.
My mom is out there. That's my dad in that truck.
Slow down.
How would you feel if that was your dad? Be alert. Be work zone alert.
And Dami Villader goes in for the challenge, and doing a front somersault is Manny Perez. And Villader is given the game's first yellow card. Quite an acrobatic move there from Manny Perez, a little Circus du Soleil to avoid maybe getting one of the knee.
Yeah, I think just the way Perez has gone over his legs, I don't think it's too malicious from Dami Villader. He definitely swings out. Nah, that's a yellow card. He swung his leg. I thought it was a little bit less than that, but it was great form by Manny Perez.
Yeah, ultimately in the end, the contact was nothing crazy, but it was certainly late enough that I think it warrants the yellow card. And to be honest, I think the Republic had a few challenges to this point that could have borderline been a yellow. I thought the tackle to stop an attack earlier by Arnold was on the border of possibly being a yellow. So I think they were due, and the referee finally dishes one out.
Well, Amadou Dia already in the game, and he's mouthing with Ricardo Fierro as the whistle is blown. No booking here, and Ricardo Fierro says that's enough. It's an early warning. 3 minutes into a game and already getting a warning. That's an Adam Moffat type move there.
Yeah, I got sent off 3 minutes into a game coming on as a substitute one time.
I'm sure your manager was thrilled with that.
I haven't spoken to him ever again since then.
he's held it against you, yeah.
I will say, though, I love that from Dia, bringing in some energy. You're down 3-0. You got to find something to spark this team. So coming in and doing whatever he can, I think.
And we spoke about Keko coming into the game as an attacker, what that was like, and then you've got Dia coming in. You're down 3-0. You're coming in at centre back. You got to bring something in. As you say, that little fight, that little energy. That's maybe what this Louisville side team needs.
Gonzalez splitting the defenders. Lancaster finding Gonzalez again, and Connor Donovan able to break it up before Lancaster is able to find another look.
There's obviously a lot of game left, but 40 minutes in, we haven't really said Lancaster or Ownby's names too much, especially not in the box. So a lot of credit to this back line, this Republic back line at this to this point of keeping those guys quiet and not giving them enough space to really create anything.
In the middle of the park here for anybody. Another mistake. Ownby's there. Ownby trying to get one in the box. Goes down. Still battling with Wheat here. And Ricardo Fierro is telling Jack Gurr to calm down. And Lancaster is now going down to the turf. And you hate to see another injury substitution being made, but it might be the case here.
I think Ownby, he's playing for the penalty kick. Might have been outside the box anyway. Gets back up because he knows there was no contact. But what Jack Gurr was fired up about is it should be a foul. He's trying to cheat the system. So that should be a yellow card. It should equate to that. And I think Brian Ownby is very fast. He's expecting someone to make a touch. No one does. Goes down. And unfortunately for Louisville, you're seeing Cam Lancaster getting issue there with a hip flexor, it looks like.
When you're down 3-0 in the first half, you got to try to make something. He's talking about Dia, maybe Ownby trying something here. Hey, if you can get a penalty kick, maybe get one, get a little bump. Now you're only down 2. But again, we've had 2 key strikers maybe now coming out of this game. Cameron Lancaster had injuries last year, did have 4 goals, but you know, less than 10 appearances a season ago. And it's been a tough go for the 31-year-old. So look at, if you're now Danny Cruz, guys, what are you doing?
I'm not sure. Like we've talked about, you got to find that spark, and seeing your best player come off the field, your most dangerous player, that's certainly not going to help your case trying to dig out of this hole. So I think if you're Danny Cruz, you're really crossing your fingers that he is okay, that he doesn't need to come out of this game. From the looks of it, it looks like he is going to go back in, and we'll see if he looks like he's at 100% or not.
They do have a youngster in Wilson Harris, 22-year-old, 15 goals a season ago with this club, with Lancaster, not getting as many minutes and appearances because of injuries. And you also have the young Ray Serrano, Came up in the Seattle Sounders Academy looking for his first minutes of the season. Here's Mushagalusa. Turning it over. Keko. Cicerone in the middle of the park, finding Roro. No numbers for Republic, but still building the attack here is it's Villader. Villader whipping this ball in, looking for a chance for Cicerone. And enough white jerseys in the neighborhood, but not out of trouble yet. It's Villader still putting the pressure on Perez. Wheat over the top, just a bit too heavy. And Mogel not striking that one the way he'd like.
And to this point in the game, it's just rinse and repeat. The Republic getting into wide areas, putting in dangerous service, and Louisville has not shown that they can deal with it very well.
Stick around for the halftime. We got a great feature for you at the break where the club went 5 days, 5 different organizations, community groups, donating their time and energy. So a little nice recap of that. You won't want to miss that. It's coming up at the half, as well as insights from Cameron Iwasa and Adam Moffat. Of course, we'll show you those 3 goals one more time, too. Felipe in the 5th, Gurr and Cicerone all contributing early on in this one. 2 of those coming off of rebounds. Shane Wheat finding Villader. Villader just slicing through. It's Gonzalez, though, and Tosh goes down. And Tosh and Roro have been battling quite a bit here in the last 10-15 minutes of this half. And that is now a sign of 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half of action. Injuries, some goals. It adds up, I guess.
Yeah, it's the longest I've seen since the World Cup. Too much stoppage time at that World Cup.
It's not 10 minutes. We've saw a couple double digits then.
Yeah, certainly rare in the first half, but you have 3 different guys go down with injuries, and the time that takes, it all adds up, and you end up with 5 extra minutes. So, hey, more soccer for us to watch.
Yeah, you're right. They're enjoying this one. It comes up, is double fist out of the way, is Vidiello, but not out of the woods quite yet. Dia just put this into some space, hoping for Mushagalusa to get there. The flag goes up. It's over the line. It will be a goal kick here for Sacramento.
I think both coaches at this point, we just want to go into the half. I think Louisville doesn't have too much momentum. Sacramento maybe content with a 3-0 right now. The game's kind of fizzled out. I think Danny Cruz wants to get into the half and reassess how he can go forward. Mark Briggs, how can they go on and secure this 3 points in the second half?
I absolutely agree. If you're Danny Cruz, you're just looking for anything to stop the bleeding, get a chance to regroup, maybe rework your tactics a little bit coming out for the second half. And as you said, obviously the Republic are going to be happy to get out of here at 3-0 and try to come back and keep the pedal down for the second half.
It's early on, but you can tell this is going to be quite a battle all season long for a top spot in the Western Conference. Sacramento, San Antonio, San Diego, Colorado Springs, all going to be in the mix probably throughout the entire year. San Antonio, will leading now. They're up a goal. Right side it comes here. And Tosh will send it back to Morton. A little bit of pressure here. Still, Morton's had a busy evening. San Antonio up a goal against Monterey Bay. This one's through. Villader is going to send this into space. It's got a little bit of run. Just hung up a little bit high. You always love to see those. If it's your team anyway. It's a little nerve-wracking. It's your goalkeeper, right? Yeah.
You can sense the excitement from the crowd there. They love seeing that.
Public not out of it yet. Flag goes up. As the Public don't want to give it anything easy here in the last couple of minutes here. And both of you guys have played. It's how hard is it to stay mentally in the game? Is you feel like you're up several goals. The halftime is just around the corner here. How do you stay sharp?
It's tough, but I do expect to see a little bit more of what we just saw from Villader there. Big clearances, no danger, 2 more minutes or so, just get it out, don't mess around with it, and try to hear that whistle and walk to the locker room.
The last thing you want to do is get complacent and think the game's over. A long way to go. If Sacramento can score 3.5, I'm sure Louisville.
Cicerone a ball from Rodrigo Lopez. Another good look. Sacramento still in the attack here. Ownby will work his way backwards, being held by Arnold Lopez. Finds a gap in Mogel. Mogel, nice ball to Perez. Perez into the corner, weak, going down low, and a nice tackle to send that out of play, but it does bring up a corner kick. It might be the last opportunity for Louisville City here.
And these are big moments, as we've been discussing these past 5 minutes or so. Seeing out the half and set pieces is such a massive part of doing so. So hopefully no messing around, get this ball cleared out, get the numbers back up the field and get regrouped.
Ball whipped in down low. It will be sent back out, this time for a throw.
And if you're Louisville, that's really disappointing. You'd like to at least give your guys a chance to try to get their head on it and make something happen.
Though he's a center back, he will get into the attack. Typically has played from that left side, left back position for the first 3 games of this season for Louisville City. Musha Galusa, the other side of the pitch now, going down low. Lancaster was there, as was Connor Donovan, and there is the whistle. Best first 45 minutes of a match for Sacramento so far this season. They score 3 goals. The first came in the 5th, the second the 24th, and then that man, Russell Cicerone, adding the 3rd in the 27th minute. And Sacramento now has 6 goals on the season. We'll have your halftime highlights and much more coming up after the break. Republic with a 3-goal advantage.
The fun has begun. The Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino is now Northern California's premier family fun destination. Get your heart racing on this spectacular 3-level indoor kart track. If bowling is up your alley, there are 18 lanes of fun at the Apex, plus a mind-blowing virtual reality arcade, incredible golf simulators, and one of the best sports bars anywhere. We're taking entertainment to a whole new level. It's the Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino.
This is the look of a little girl with big dreams, but only one last hope. A girl whose organs were shutting down as she was growing up. A girl who finally found her spotlight when she found her specialist. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
At SMUD, we're committed to zero carbon by 2030. We're creating more energy from renewable resources, reconfiguring our power plants to improve air quality, electrifying our fleet, greening our buildings, and accelerating clean energy with our first grid-scale battery farm. The Clean Power City movement is happening. For 37 ways you can join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you in part by Modelo, Red Hawk Resort and Casino, and by SMUD. Well, before the home opener for the Republic, they had 5 days of volunteer events, a full commitment to not only what's happening on the pitch, but off it as well.
In celebration of our 10th home opener, we're doing 5 volunteer projects each and every day at various nonprofits throughout Sacramento. On Monday, we'll be at Wellspring Women's Center providing 250 hygiene kits for their women who come there for safety net services and may need things that, we kind of take for granted.
Our mission here at Wellspring is to nurture the innate goodness and personal self-esteem of women and their children. It's helping people access the things that they need to access and helping them understand that they are truly valued.
I think it's important to get back to the community, and I didn't have a chance last year, and especially now that I have a kid, I feel like I want to be more involved with those who aren't as fortunate as we are, so it's important to be here and to show our face around the community as well.
Tuesday, we'll be at the Ronald McDonald House Charities over by UC Davis Health, where we'll be providing 150 toiletry kits, 50 grab-and-go breakfast kits, and learning a little bit about their nonprofit. Today, we're at St. John's Program for Real Change. Us, some fans, some corporate partners. We're here with Aldair Sanchez as well, painting a couple bedrooms that are going to be for people who are moving in.
We are the largest residential program for unhoused women and children in the Sacramento area. Women and children come here because they have no place to live.
Get to have a warm, friendly place for them to stay that's inviting and comforting, and we're really honored to be able to help.
I got this.
Thursday, we'll be at New Roots Urban Farm, which is a farm program for refugees in West Sacramento. And then Friday, we'll be at the Sacramento Food Bank, sorting fresh produce, fresh food. They need some helping hands to be able to put that all together. Throughout the entire week, 5 amazing projects, 5 different nonprofits. For Sacramento Republic FC, this is a great opportunity for us to showcase our commitment to the Sacramento community.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome back inside Heart Health Park, presented by Modelo here at the break, guys. 3-0 Sacramento. I think we expected this would be a battle. We thought this would be fun and exciting. Well, we got that. Adam, were you expecting 3 goals?
I was not. I'll take it, though. A brilliant first half for Sacramento Republic. Coming out, loads of energy, and putting the ball in the back of the net. That's what you want to see. That's what you come and watch the games for. That's why you're watching the game at home.
And Cam, and you see the guys just pouncing on it. They were making runs to the box. I mean, that's exactly what coaches want, right?
Absolutely. It's actually been a really sloppy game, which has created kind of all of the action because of the constant counters. And it's come down to execution in the final thirds, both defensively from Louisville, poor and well from the Republic.
Let's take a look around the league. Our news and notes. Bill Hamid, a 1-1 draw for Memphis today, so big time there. And USL Championship on ESPN. Louisville City hosting Miami on May 13th at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. And so around the league, you just continue to see a league that has gotten better throughout the years. I know you guys have both seen that, and it's really great to see the attention they're getting on ESPN as well. Let's take a look now at our Western Conference standings. And we know it's going to be a battle. And San Antonio, Sacramento already showing maybe the top dogs early on, Cameron. But as you know, you've been in some teams that started off slow and made some serious runs. But you got to feel pretty good if you're probably Sacramento and San Antonio, who do meet next week in Texas.
Absolutely. Both of those teams have to be feeling great. Obviously, need to close out tonight and make sure to take care of all 3 points. But, yeah, looking like it's going to be an unbelievable matchup next week.
Adam, anybody surprising you in this full Western Conference standings now?
Yeah, I think Phoenix unrising at the bottom right there. You thought
Phoenix falling?
Phoenix falling. You just thought maybe it was going to be a bounce back for them, but rough start to the season.
Rough start. We got your highlights and your statistics from the first half here in Sacramento. And we'll have some thoughts as we head into the second half from Adam and Cameron coming up right after this. Don't go away.
Listen up. Why do you do it? You ignore the signs and the flashing lights.
Don't you see the work zone?
Seriously? Caltrans is working right there.
Right next to your speeding car.
My mom is out there.
That's my dad's truck.
That's my papa behind those cones.
So slow down.
Watch out for them and be alert. How would you feel if that was your dad? Be alert. Be work zone alert.
This is the look of a woman who fought cancer for years with no answers. A woman who bravely championed her own health and found a doctor who'd do the same. A woman whose ending was rewritten when she found remission. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
How do you build a community that thrives? By staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012. Because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh.
Welcome back inside Heart Health Park. All smiles here in Sacramento as the Republic have a 3-goal advantage in the first half of play. A bit shocking, but maybe after what we saw a week ago against El Paso, maybe this Louisville team is trying to find a bit of their way here early on in the season. So as we begin, let's take a look at our halftime highlights. And we start off early, Sacramento on their front foot, creating opportunities, creating chances, and leads to good things, Cameron.
Yeah, inside 5 minutes, if you can go get a goal, I mean, what a start to the game. And it's where all the dangers come from. The wide areas, getting crosses into the box and making Louisville deal with them. And they have not proven that they can deal with them well. And ultimately, it ends up with a great finish from Luis Felipe.
So Felipe with his second goal on the young season, but Sacramento not quite done yet, showing some opportunities here. Jack Gurr, after Russell Cicerone keeps it alive, never say quit.
And once again, you see Luis Felipe's in the box, Jack Gurr involved, Russell Cicerone. What a ball. What a tough position to put Sean Tosh in. 2-0. You're thinking, okay, 2 goals, great. Can't get any more, can you?
And Sacramento would continue to take advantage. Louisville not able to take advantage of opportunities. Keko with a perfect service. Russell Cicerone, his 2nd goal on the year. And the Republic, just like that, up 3 goals to none. The only really blemish for Republic in that first 45, the loss of Sebastian Herrera. You just hope it's only a temporary injury and not something that's going to last a long time. Cameron, let's take a look at our first half highlights here. Not a lot of shots for either team, really. I mean, Sacramento had some looks, but Louisville City had some dangerous moments as well. Fairly overall messy, little herky-jerky a little bit. Maybe not what we thought we'd see, especially for 2 teams that are so solid. But here we are, Sacramento finding a way where Louisville City is not. So now let's take a look at going into this 45. I want you to put on your Danny Cruz hat, Cameron Watson. What are you telling your team? How do you try to work yourself back into this ballgame?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some sort of substitution, maybe get on another striker or some sort of attacking player to try to just put some more pressure on the Republic back line. As we mentioned in the first half, we did not hear Lancaster or Ownby's names called very often, and so trying to find a way to free up somebody in that attacking third and try to get somebody dangerous in dangerous positions.
Well, you're right on substitutions, as Danny Cruz will put in Wilson Harris and Ray Serrano making his season debut, just 21 years of age, out of Seattle area. And Aldair Sanchez will come in for Sacramento in the midfield. Made his debut with the Republic in week 1. Now getting some time in week 4 as well. Formation-wise, do you expect any changes from Louisville City? We saw them switch to a back 4. Any other tweaks that we might see, Adam?
They've got to try and get back in the game. But what's interesting is they had a really attacking lineup in the first half. I mean, what they came out with at the start of the game. But we could see a little bit different. They got to try and get back into this match. They need a little bit more urgency, a little bit more energy. And we'll see if they can bring it.
So Cameron Lancaster and Musha Galuza out of this max here, and it's Wilson Harris and Ray Serrano will try to bring some youth, a spark to this game for the visiting club. 3rd time playing a California team in California, Orange County, Monterey, and now Sacramento. A brutal start schedule-wise.
Yeah, I don't know what someone in the Louisville front office must have done something to the USL schedule. I don't know who that is, but to have to travel back and forth from Louisville to California 3 times in a month.
That's the interesting part. They win the first 2 matches. It's this game against El Paso, their home opener, that they end up losing 3-0. And now here they are a week later, now down 3-0 again. So see if they can try to turn this around, but still a very good squad. We've seen the history with them, obviously 2 championships, as well as 8 consecutive Eastern Conference appearances, as Wilson Harris trying to bring a bit of a spark. Wilson Harris is 22, but 15 goals a year, really burst on the scene in the USL.
Yeah, I don't care how old you are. You put 15 balls in the net in a season, you're doing something right. So obviously a very, very bright future ahead of him. And Louisville's certainly hoping he can come on and add a spark. They're looking for anything at this point.
Took me 15 years to get to that amount. He's done it in 1 year.
And we should know Aldair Sanchez came on for Rodrigo Lopez. Oh, no, he did not. Excuse me.
I believe it was Villader.
He came on for Dami Villader.
And you have to hope that that's maybe some sort of precautionary thing, that he did not pick up some sort of knock in that first half. Obviously, we haven't gotten word of what caused that substitution, but just got to hope that it's a tactical thing and not out of necessity.
He did receive a yellow card, maybe playing some play to it, so hopefully health is the biggest concern for these guys as Gonzalez moving forward. Spray this ball out to the right side. Louisville trying to get back into this game, down 3 goals. Ray Serrano, this ball's whipped right back in from that right side. Jack Kerr is going to head to it, center of the park it comes. Here's a good opportunity, just misstruck, however, by Tyler Gibson, who has not seen a lot of action here in this first 45 minutes, maybe trying to get into it in the second half of play.
It was a good opportunity for him, and the follow-up, and it's not easy. It's not easy to connect on your so-called weaker foot, your less dominant foot from there, but It's good that they're picking up the second balls, Louisville, and they know they have to do that. They've got to get a lot of those second balls, win the battle of the midfield. Hopefully that will result in opportunities for them.
Yeah, that was a positive little spell from them there. You didn't really see them break down the Republic at all in the first half, so to at least see them get the ball, work it wide, get a ball in the box, now you just got to get those numbers crashing and try to create something.
Jared Timmer takes a shot to that knee there, and he's going to feel that one, maybe a high shin. What's probably the worst part of the leg? It feels like that shin is obviously very sensitive.
Yeah, and you're required to wear shin pads, but I can tell you from experience, they don't really do a lot. So when you get kicked there, it certainly does not feel very good.
I had a former teammate who would use cardboard from like a cereal box. No word of a lie. Jamaican fella, he did not care.
Jack Gurr splitting. Gecko. Cicerone! And Martin with a big time stop. Beautiful footwork from Gurr, Gecko, and Cicerone putting on a clinic right here, boys.
Once again, it comes from the wide area.
Oh, mistake, and Gecko tried to jump on it. Luis Felipe is going to find number 7, stayed on side, goes to his right foot, and it's denied for a moment. Gurr popped up, keeping it alive. Gecko falling, as did Amadou Dia there. And it will be a throw for Louisville City. Another great chance there by Sacramento, nearly putting the 4th goal.
As Adam started to say, you know, we're starting to sound like a broken record. It's from the wide areas over and over, and then Louisville City with a bad turnover, and they have to be very happy that for once they did not get punished on the turnover, and it's still 3-0 instead of 4.
And there's a bad turnover here by Timmer and Ownby, and Timmer's got to get back in a hurry. To the right side, coming to Ray Serrano. Serrano just outside the box. Will move to his left. The cross comes in. Timmer shields it back to Danny Vitiello. A bit dangerous there, is nearly touching that left forearm. Brian Ownby was hoping for a handball.
It definitely touched his left forearm. He kept it in tight to his side, but it was very awkward. And Ownby had a better view than anyone. A look from here, that definitely got a little touch on there.
Yeah, almost going from bad to worse. Timmer with the tough giveaway there that springs the break and then almost makes a major mistake on the back end, but ultimately no harm done. But as we talked about in the first half, it hasn't really been buttoned up from the Republic. Obviously the scoreline looks great, but it's been a very sloppy game to this point. A lot of unnecessary turnovers that have created pretty much the only opportunities for Louisville to this point.
Seriously, these kind of games, if you want 3-4 goals, they got to be open, right? They've got to feel this way. When they're really buttoned up, they're maybe scoreless, or you're getting maybe a goal for the entire match. So it's really, which do you prefer, right?
Well, and again, it's great entertainment, yeah. But if you're Mark Briggs, you'd probably like it to be a little boring for the rest of this match.
Tough landing there for Oscar Jimenez, just the way he came down from that challenge with Jack Gurr. He's able to continue, though, which is good to see.
Let's see what kind of substitutions are made. Keko came in early for Sebastian Herrera, who out with an injury the first 10 minutes of the match, and then Aldair Sanchez coming in for Adami Villader at the break. This one's to the corner, and Luis Felipe getting there, but it's a deflection out by Connor Donovan, and it will be a Atlas disposal corner kick for Louis City.
We've seen Connor Donovan clear one from the line, but he does that so well. He just reads the play. Gets those arms behind his back, which you have to do as a defender nowadays. Too many handballs given away. It's almost like he does his splits to block anything he can. That's why he's one of the best centre backs in the league. He's willing to put his body in front of anything.
In swinging ball here. Connor Donovan ahead to it again. Roro trying to get to it, and just a tap from Louis City. Back in the mixer it goes. Timmer off the chest, trying to get it to Vitiello, and does.
As you said, Adam, it seems like so often when it comes to that emergency defending, that last minute, that clearance off the line, the clearance out of the box, you know, clearing the corner kick here, so often it's Connor Donovan's name that gets called, and he's just been such a big piece of this very, very stout defensive back line for the Republic.
Jack Gurr is taken out, and he is slow to get up. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Join the Republic and become an inaugural member today. Visit sacrepublicfc.com/memberships. Learn more. The 2023 USL Championship season. And do not miss a match. This team is poised to maybe make a deep run. Undefeated in 3, trying to make it 4. 2 wins and a draw, now up 3-0 against Louisville City, one of the best clubs in the Eastern Conference, as Russell Cicerone is flagged for offside. 2 clean sheets to start the year for Sacramento, and I know that you talked about buttoning it up defensively a little bit, Cam. You know that Mark Briggs would like to see a 3rd clean sheet coming in. And we talk a lot about how the goalkeeper is a big part of that, but Mark Briggs is really talking about that's a real full team effort. And it comes even as guys like you from the striker position. It's not just that back line that contributes to a clean sheet. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you see Danny Vitiello's name on the clean sheet, but it certainly is a full team effort. And you see it right here. You know, prior to the previous play is the full front line is pressing and creates a turnover. And you know, you defend from the front all the way back to that back line, and you got to have 10 guys in the field and then 11 with the keeper on a string in order to have that defense be consistent.
And when you do get that buy-in within a squad, you know, you have the strikers working hard defensively. It really makes a massive difference. You're not isolating one for the other. And you look at Jack Kerr, he does both. He's lined up as a defender, but so heavily involved in the attack as well. Great play by Keko. Just he's so crafty and so composed. Rarely looks flustered.
Well, and you got to stay ready, right? I mean, here's an injury and opportunity now, and Keko has played almost a full 90.
Yeah, we talked about how hard it is, you know, breaking your routine, getting forced into the game, you know, inside of 10 minutes basically after assuming you're not going to be on until at least, you know, probably midway through the second half. And so for him to come in on that short notice and the response the team has gotten out of him, it's really impressive. And I think he's been a huge part of you know, continuing to build that lead and putting this team in the position it's in right now.
And it was an interesting choice from Mark Briggs. And from our perspective, you're thinking, okay, you go striker for striker. Well, that's what the coach knows his team. He knows where he needs. He knows where Russell can go. And Cicerone goes up top. He's got a goal. He's involved in another. So you've got to give credit to the coach as well, seeing who's ready. And I'm sure we will see Luther Archmed at some point here.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see, because I mentioned earlier, I think as far as quality goes, you can't find a better 3 than Rodrigo Lopez, Russell Cicerone, and Keko. I think for this team, those 3 are incredible. And we saw the rapport that Roro and Keko had last year, and so getting those 2 in with Russell could be very interesting.
Ownby. Keko selling out. And Sanchez will be the come to mark. Lopez will help. Trying to skirt that through just outside the box. Gibson able to get to it. But look at the energy still from number 7, Keko. It's come all the way up the other side. A lot of interchangeable parts between those 3. Here's Ray Serrano chipping this one over the top, just into the 6, trying to give Rogel a run. Rogel played 16 games for Lou City a year ago, but seems like he's going to be a much bigger part of this club in 2023.
And you see Louisville here looking to press a little bit higher and try to create some havoc, see if they can't force a turnover and get a cheap goal, and then next thing you know, they're right back in this thing.
Well, there's a yellow card for Danny Vitiello, as I guess he was hoping his team would get going there a little bit. However, the delay of game, I don't know when the last time Vitiello got a yellow card, but sure it wasn't this season. No, it wasn't this season. He'll send that ball to their side of the pitch. Whistle comes in, and Luis Felipe whistle for the foul. Well, April 5th, that's coming up this week. Republic will face the Crossfire Redmen at Hart Health Park. Second round of the U.S. Open Cup. Of course, we know what happened last year. First time in 14 years, the lower side went to the finale. Kickoff 7 o'clock. Tickets are available for that game. It's $10 too. Ownby, left side. Lazily puts that one in the box. So here's the other opportunities here now for guys. Open Cup's coming up, and other teams have maybe took Republic a little lightly. So you don't want to be now on that side, and you're on the other end. You've taken Crossfire from Washington, basically like, oh, we got this. We'll just put anybody out there. We'll put out, you know. So how do you play that if you're Mark Briggs? You got a season, you're trying to balance that. You got a deeper roster maybe this year, more veteran guys at least.
There is guys who haven't had many minutes, and you have to get the balance right. And we've seen just how much good comes from a good Open Cup run, and we know that better than anyone here in Sacramento. So got to get off on the right foot. You can't take anyone for granted. There's maybe Sacramento were on the flip side of that, as you mentioned last year, Rob. It was, you know, MLS teams and resting players, and look what happened to them in that situation. So it will be a good chance for players to get minutes, but you have to have the right attitude. You got to go out and try and get the win and get as far as you can in that tournament.
Yeah, it's certainly a fine line, as you don't want to take anybody lightly, but to your point, there's young players that haven't had any opportunity so far this year that you might want to get a look at. You've got guys like LaGrassa, who was a regular all of last season for the most part and hasn't really had a chance because this team has been performing so well. So it's a great opportunity to get those guys some run and see what you have, and to keep those guys sharp so that they are ready when their name gets called for these league matches.
It's fun to see more and more people just getting interested in the Open Cup and understanding just what's at stake and what can happen. And Sacramento quite close to winning it all. Ray Serrano. Luis Felipe sending this one upfield. Rodrigo Lopez will give chase just beyond the half circle.
But yeah, with the Open Cup, there's just something different about those one and done tournaments, right? I mean, this excitement level goes to a different level, and it's incredible.
Gonzalez putting everything he had into that one. It takes a partial deflection off of Sacramento, and it will be a corner kick brought to you by Atlas Disposal. Republic on the road, taking on San Antonio next weekend.
And Louisville City showing some life here. A great strike just over the bar. You know, you'd like to stay over that and at least make Vitiello make a save, but finally getting into that attack, starting to put some pressure on, and we'll see if they can find the breakthrough and make a game out of this one.
Ball sent in low and comes right back out, and will be another chance here for Lou City. 3 goals, all by Sacramento in the first half of play here. 5th minute by Luis Felipe started it all. Skirts along the turf. Lopez going to spring. The other Lopez. Gibson getting back. Who's coming with? Look at Jack Gurr, the bottom of your screen here, coming into the play. Keko, Jack Gurr collects it inside the box, trying to find Keko. And just enough by the back line, getting back there in a hurry. Amadou Dia. And Lou City nearly seeing that 4th goal go through.
How quickly it happens. It was a corner kick for Lou City, and Dia does just enough, gets in the right spot, prevents it from being 4-0. And that's what you have to be careful of. You're Lou City. You're trying to get back in this game, but one of Sacramento's strengths is absorbing that pressure and hitting the quick counterattack.
And the crowd was buzzing there. You thought for a second Roro might go for that half field shot and see, as Morton was caught out a little bit.
Lopez, Atlas Disposal corner kick, flying in. Gurr takes his tap at it. It's broken up at the line. And now looking at their own counter, Sanchez just getting underneath Ownby there and breaking that up. It will be a throw, but nicely done by the youngster who came on looking for a tryout, worked his way. He was with the Timbers Youth Academy for a while and earned a spot here and made his debut in the 1-0 victory over El Paso in week 1. Lou City starting to feel a little bit of momentum here. Ownby has a goal to his register this year. It's going to be Serrano chipping this in to Connor Donovan. And a Louisville City player is down, and the training staff will come out and take a look at Jorge Gonzalez. And Gonzalez suffered a knee injury and cut most of his 2022 year short. Didn't make 22 starts, however. But injury plagued for Lou City, and even though they were still able to make it to the championship, and I think what you've seen for Lou City the last couple years, they've had the depth. And I think if you look at the Sacramento team here in 2023, they have a similar depth in terms of the roster and experienced guys not heavy, where I think in the last year here, top heavy experience, and then a lot of younger guys coming up trying to get minutes.
Yeah, and that's key if you're going to make a long run. We just talked about the Open Cup a little bit, and that throws in those Wednesday games. You need guys to get more minutes and things like that. And just over the course of a season, it is a long year, and you're going to get injuries. You're going to get, little nicks and knacks here and there, and guys are going to miss time. So you need to be able to have players that are able to step up and fill minutes and not skip a beat. And I think this year, this team has that sort of makeup.
Blue City. Here's Perez. He's had a really good night. Been quite impressive. Did spend some time with Austin FC, 10 appearances in MLS. Over the top, looking for Ownby. Is he onside? Able to play it forward, and the flag goes up. So about an hour through. What have you liked from Sacramento? Obviously, they were able to take advantage of opportunities, but maybe more stylistically. What did you like in that first 45 and then I guess 20 minutes here in the second half, Cameron?
I think it's really doing a great job of exploiting what Louisville is giving them. Those wide areas have been wide open, and they haven't proven that they can deal with those crosses well. And again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but it seems like every single dangerous chance has come from those wide areas. And so being able to play that ball inside to spring the guys out wide and then the runners crashing, as we talked about last season, that was something that we just did not see enough consistently, was getting numbers in the box. And tonight is a perfect example of multiple runners in the box, and sometimes it comes off of a deflection, and you might have to get a little bit lucky, but when you have those numbers there, good things happen, and you end up with the ball in the back of the net.
Cicerone, yeah, flag goes up. Adam, I think defensively, maybe not the cleanest game, not maybe as buttoned up as we saw in those first 3 weeks. However, right now, you've held one of the better offensive teams in the Eastern Conference scoreless still. And so you don't always have to be perfect. Sometimes there's a little bit of luck involved, but I guess you see the hustle, and you've seen the way that Keko and Felipe and Gurr were just moving on both sides of the pitch here as that tags the official. So defensively, while not perfect, still able to take advantage when they could.
You've got Wilson Harris, who's come in the game. He spoke about how many goals he scored last season. We've barely mentioned his name. He's not got involved. When Sacramento are leading a game, they do such a good job of that back three becomes a back five. You get Sanchez now, you get Jack Gurr. Very hard to break down. You have Luis Felipe, Arnold Lopez in front of them. That is a late one there by Oscar Jimenez. He's got Jack Gurr. A little payback. I think there was one earlier he got him. But very hard to break down, and Danny Cruz knew that. And I think it was tough when they went down 1 goal. So how do we get back into the game? But to be down 3 goals against a team as solid, as organized, and as disciplined as Sacramento, it is a tough, tough task.
Gurr. Cicerone. Keko on the right side. Lopez making a run. A little shaky there by Perez. Back for Sacramento. Wheat finding Roro, who's able to get back on side, just outside the area. Gonna send this one, an absolute stinger toward Kyle Morton. Lopez maybe getting older, but that leg still as strong as ever. Nearly made it 4-0.
Yeah, he's still got some juice in that leg for sure. And ultimately a pretty comfortable save for Morton, but that's got some heat on it, and all the best he can do is just parry it away. And yeah, a little bit of electricity coming out of the old man. And I say that out of love.
He's still younger than me, so I can't call him old. So here's another corner kick brought to you by Atlas Disposal. Rodrigo Lopez and company up 3 goals. On a set piece here, ball driven well. Keko will give it a chance. Keko just skirts it off the top crossbar. And it will be a goal kick here. Well, the Apex is now open at Red Hawk Resort and Casino. Go-karts, bowling, games, and more. Red Hawk Resort and Casino, the official casino partner of Sac Republic FC.
Speaking of go-karts, Cam, the last game I mentioned, I won the Sacramento Republic go-karting. Were you involved in that?
I was there. I don't recall you being the champion, though.
I do. And I keep bringing it up. There's pictures somewhere.
He's got opportunities just like Adam Moffat had on that go-kart track, wide open, but unable to finish the race. You know, did you make it through the whole race without an injury?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Just want to make sure.
I'm not going to name any names, but there was almost a disaster that day. I vividly remember that.
In what way? This is 3 years ago now.
There was a little bit of a crash that was about a foot away from being a career ender for somebody.
Oof, okay. Was that your career ending, or?
No. I was driving nice and slow.
Okay, okay.
You know,
someone's go-kart made her on top of someone else's, which you shouldn't have done.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
You got to take the corners, right angle. You got to drive to survive. F1. I guess the series wasn't out quite yet. You guys didn't understand technicalities. Meanwhile, there's a whistle on the field as it is Oscar Jimenez down. So Jack Gurr getting to talking to. I'll tell you what, Ricardo Fierro has had his hands full tonight. I think he's done a really nice job. I know there's sometimes easy to complain about officiating. He's had a tough task here tonight. Here's two very highly competitive teams and a lot of bodies flying around, and he's kept control of this match.
Yeah, for me, a good indication of whether a referee's doing a good job or not is if you don't notice him very much. And we haven't had to call his name much. He hasn't been too involved, and that's a good thing.
Another cross here by Lou City. They've picked up their opportunities in this game. They're just putting everything forward they possibly can. Look at this ball placed perfectly for Russell Cicerone coming inside. Roro, he'll overlap instead. Keko making the run, come back to Roro. Keko waiting for it. Cicerone, top crossbar. Denied. Felipe's second chance, not there as well.
Almost number 4 there, Cicerone.
That's the third time this season he's smacked the crossbar.
Once again, it starts from a counterattack. Jack Gurr, fantastic ball out to Russell Cicerone, and just get numbers in the box. Everyone wants to get involved. They know that they can smell the blood. They want to get that 4th goal, and it was really unfortunate there. Russell Cicerone almost in his 2nd of the night.
Roro stepping over guys. Keko's the onside, doesn't matter. Here comes Cicerone. Russell Cicerone chipping it in. Russell Cicerone, the Sacramento tree, move over. San Francisco, we got a new dish in town serving up some goals tonight. Look at that. That's the 4th one tonight for Sacramento, 71st minute.
All right, that was terrible, Rob. But absolutely cheeky finish there for Russell. You know, he would have been disappointed with that previous one. A player of his quality, you expect him to put that away, but he comes right back and just serves up a tasty little thing. Look at that, little chip over the top. Yeah, just disgusting. Putting on an absolute clinic on counterattacks tonight. And, you know, Adam mentioned earlier how well this team does when they bunker in and just they can shut teams down. But I love the fact they're staying on the front foot, continuing to attack and go after them.
Very well taken by Russell Cicerone after just hitting the crossbar. He doesn't let it get to him, and you can see he's going to be a fan favorite. He already is. Brings a lot of energy. He's a clever player. He's a hard worker. He fits the bill of what this club's all about, and he's got off to a flyer this season.
Well, Sacramento taking on Louisville City into this match. One that a lot of people had circled on the calendar, and it is all Sacramento tonight. They score 4 goals in 70 minutes. Meanwhile, here's Cicerone again, maybe trying for a hat trick.
And you'd have to think surely this one's put to bed now. 4-0, you know, 73rd minute. And you start to wonder if Mark Briggs might make some changes just to rest some guys. As we talked about, get some fresh legs on the field, get some minutes to some guys that maybe haven't gotten so many so far this year.
Louisville City did make a substitution there at the break as Rasmus Tellefsen comes into the game. 25 years of age, comes from top flight in Denmark. Owenby just outside the 18. Roro through the wickets here. Cicerone comes back for it, able to pop back up to his feet, but cut off by Perez. Perez will go for it, and it'll end up in the north stands. As Sacramento has pounced on every opportunity tonight. And you take a look at a couple of those close calls. Cicerone hits the crossbar. You've had a couple other good looks. And Sacramento has dominated tonight. And for Louisville City now, 7 goals in 2 games, none scored. At Elk Grove Charter School, we believe nobody succeeds alone. Come see what a flexible education can do for your student. Now accepting applications for the 2023-24 school year. Connor Donovan selling out, breaking that play up as Wilson Harris had his eyes on goal. And a couple of public players warming up. Could see another change here by Mark Briggs. Keko, Roro out in the open. 1v1 here. Rodrigo Lopez is denied by Morton as it's Keko tried to play it off to the left side as Perez is there.
These are the games where they're going to be in the locker room after the game and they'll be like, dude, I can't believe you didn't score that. You know, everyone, the vibes are always high and you start making fun of guys when they're missing chances and stuff. Roro with a chance at a player his quality, you expect him to score there, but, you know, pretty solid save there by Morton.
Morton's had a couple of good ones tonight. Gurr now running down the heart. Morton had that big save against Sebastian Herrera, and then it was Luis Felipe on the follow-up. Scored the game's first in the 5th minute. And a slew of changes now here for Mark Briggs, as he looks to close this one out.
And I think now would be a good time for this game to get a little bit boring if you're Mark Briggs, right? 4-0, it's extremely comfortable, but you gotta stay in it and you gotta see it out. Can't let it get sloppy, and you know, if Louisville gets one, all of a sudden they start feeling themselves.
And you also don't want to start picking up some yellow cards that could impact you later in the season or ultimately in the next couple of weeks. So it looks like you'll see Matt Lacrosse, Luther Archimed, and Zekiel Lewis coming to the game. The final changes for Mark Briggs here. As Keko and Sanchez made their appearances earlier in the match. Keko coming in for Herrera, who out with an injury. And then Sanchez in the break for Dami Villader. But a set piece here now for Mogal and this Louisville City team, who is a bit stunned, now down 4-0. And the whistle blows. Mogal tried to dip it over the line there and unable to do so. It'll be a goal kick here, and here comes the substitution. So Felipe Cicerone and Rodrigo Lopez out of the game. Zekiel Lewis, Luther Archimed, Matt Lacrosse into this game here. Zico and Luther both spending time with their national teams a week ago, and a standing ovation, first of all, for these guys coming off the pitch. Russell Cicerone, 2 goals on the night. He has 3 now on the season. What a start for number 11. And just a brilliant performance by those 3 tonight.
Absolutely. I think the only discussion is who's going to be the man of the match. It's a pretty tight race between those 3 right now. And as you said, not just getting these guys a little bit of a rest, but especially with one of those players in particular, watching the yellow cards a little bit and making sure that that doesn't come back to bite you later on in the season.
Here's Vidiello, sends this ball deep. Zico.
I also think it's good, as we spoke about, with these big leads, sometimes you can get a little bit complacent as the game goes on. And so getting some fresh legs in there and some fresh energy is very good to keep that standard high, keep that energy high to close it out.
Ownby being chased from behind by Lacrosse. A little bit of room here for Mogal. He slips and falls as he tries to make a move toward the center. And here's Zekiel Lewis, who played 180 minutes while away with Bermuda. 2 starts, had an assist on the goal against Haiti on Tuesday. So while you didn't see him in USL Championship action, you do have now 2 full games under the belt of Zekiel Lewis, and an opportunity to maybe gain some confidence, as well as little bit of a sharper game, different type of style of game. And for Zico Lewis, you feel like this is a good substitution to continue to get his minutes built up throughout the year. Keko. Dia.
But yeah, Rob, you speak about Zico, and he's another extremely dynamic player that unfortunately has not been able to break into this lineup very much just because of how good the guys that have been starting have been. And so a great opportunity for him. You'd like to see a little spark. Again, obviously, most importantly is seeing this game out, but you still want to see a little something going forward, even though you'd be pretty happy if it ended at 4-0.
Sacramento on the road next week against San Antonio. Then they'll be home again for Colorado Springs and then Detroit City on the 15th and 22nd of April.
Doesn't get a lot easier, does it?
Colorado Springs right there at the top of the standings as well. They have 7 points on the year. Ball still moving quickly here for Louisville City, trying to just get something from this game with about 10 minutes or so to go. And it gives us a chance to hear a word from our sponsor at the Office of Traffic Safety.
So you're out for a drink. Before that drink turns to drinks, make a plan to get home safe. Just call a friend, a cab, or get a ride share. Whatever you do, don't let drunk drive. Go safely, California.
Talking about a tough start for Lou City. They've had to come out west 3 of their first 4 games, and then they'll get a little bit of reprieve. As looking ahead for them, they're hopefully going to come back to Kentucky and have some opportunities. They'll take on Detroit, who fell today, a 3 o'clock kick next week for them. Or Sacramento, we talk about a tough schedule, but you know, Cam, you could make a case now. If you look up and down the entire year, 34 matches, nearly every week's going to be a tough match. There's really no more gimmies, especially when you're taking on some of the Eastern Conference teams you look forward to. These are all teams that are highly competitive and put out some strong rosters.
Yeah, I think back to my rookie year, you know, my first couple of years in the league, and you hate to overlook teams, but you could look at the schedule and circle some W's before the season even started, you know, and now you look at this schedule and it's just tough team after tough team after tough team, and all of these rosters have a ton of talent on them, and it's really brutal. You look at the start to this season, every game we've played has been a tight one. You know, even this result is clearly in our favor, but Louisville is obviously a great team. And then you look at the schedule moving forward, and you got, you know, the reigning champs followed by the team that we lost to in the playoffs last year. So it's pretty brutal.
Gurr whipping this one in, looking for Archimed, takes it off a hop. Sanchez was there. And it'll clear out of play by Louisville City, so a throw by Sacramento.
Once again, the opportunity comes from across from that right-hand side. Jack Gurr trying to find Luther Archimed, get his season underway. First goal of the season would be big for him. The confidence that would give him, just trying to build on what was an impressive giveaway right there.
Played some space. Timmer will find Jack Gurr, but how about two friends going head-to-head here? Is Mark Briggs, Danny Cruz, coached together in Salt Lake City, remain close, and maybe not going to have a conversation for a couple days, maybe after this one, though.
Might be a little bit longer. I don't know. It's not who initiates that conversation, you know.
I'm sure Briggs will be more than happy to chat.
Yeah. Little back heel, Louisville City. Opportunity, Mogel takes the deflection. Jack Gurr will send it right back to the other side. And it's headed out of play.
we haven't seen much of Louisville City. It's only the second ever meeting between both sides, but there hasn't been a team. They have been the front runners in the whole of the USL Championships. There's no doubt about that. They make the playoffs every year. If they're not winning it, they're in the conference finals. Very consistent, year in, year out. The coaching staff might change, but the organization, they know what they're doing, and Sacramento's up there with them as well. But in terms of consistency, Louis City. So this is a huge shock for them to go giving up 7 goals in 2 games, but I'm certain they'll bounce back from it.
Yeah, I don't know this for a fact, but I can't imagine in this franchise's history they've ever lost back-to-back games by 3 goals. And so, to your point, they're hoping it's a blip and that they'll bounce back, but it certainly is a little bit shocking from them.
They've only lost by multiple goals just once in Danny Cruz's tenure. And here's an opportunity for Wilson as this one's over the bar. And before that, it was July 28th of 2019, a 3-goal margin. It just doesn't happen very often to the boys in purple.
And so again, for it to happen in back-to-back matches, it is way, way out of the ordinary. And so they'll have to go back to the drawing boards and regroup for next week. But, you know, certainly a little bit of concern in that locker room.
And if you're going to struggle, this is the time to do it. Get plenty of time to fix things and get back on track. As one more change here for Danny Cruz's side. As late into this match is Paulo Del Piccolo.
Yeah, and speaking of substitutions, that could add concern for them as Cameron Lancaster subbed out with an apparent injury. We have no idea what the extent of that injury is, but if they were to lose a guy like that for an extended amount of time, that just makes it even harder for them to kind of climb out of this lull.
He played 37 games, Del Piccolo did, for Louisville City a year ago. He's crossed all competitions. Public looking to close out a 4-goal performance here, see if they can pick up their 3rd shutout on the year. Luis Felipe in the 5th. And then it was Gurr, the 24th, and then Cicerone, and then Cicerone again. Kecko with the assist tonight, a couple of shots off the rebound, saves by Morton. Serrano put it right there for an opportunity. Louisville City still threatening here. This ball comes in, dangerous. Opportunity is headed down by Ownby and just out of play. It'll take off more clock. Works in Sacramento's favor. And this is setting up to be a big night for Mark Briggs. Obviously starting off the year, 3 wins, 1 draw, and that was a match in which you went down a man in the 36th minute, losing Luis Felipe, a red card that was rescinded as one of the yellows was taken back. So he was not suspended for last week. But a dream start for this club, and now Mark Briggs on the brink of becoming the first coach to win 41 times here with Sacramento, a club record. Quick touch, opportunity, Serrano. Opportunity again here for Louis City. It just bounces away. Wilson. Did Vidiello keep it in? Looks like he may have. Or either way, across the line. It was last touched by Louisville City here.
I don't think at this point it's premature to congratulate Mark Briggs on number 41. And it's obviously a great accomplishment. This is a club that it's a short history, relatively short history, but it's a really, really great history. And so for him to be, stepping up as the winningest coach in this franchise's history, that's a great honor. And obviously it seems like there's going to be a lot more going forward as well.
And will surpass Simon Elliott, who you played for. LaGrassa trying to get Kecko an opportunity. Here's Luther Archimet, though. Luther Archimet going in heavy against Morton here.
Must be nice being number 1 on one of those lists. Anyone Anyone been number one on any list before?
I've never coached a single game in my life.
No.
Archimed, he's onside. Luther Archimed denied. Keko will put it over the top. Hits the left side. Oh my, just inches away from 5 goals on the evening. Keko hitting the post.
It's once again Luther Archimed, and Sacramento's another opportunity here through Jack Gurr.
Keko. Keko just trying to find an inch, taking a step as Keko was right there.
If you're Sacramento, you're obviously delighted with all the opportunities that are being created, and to put 4 goals in and have, 2 or 3 more that really, really could have been goals.
Keko's onside. Keko hits the crossbar. The second time tonight, Republic have done it. But here comes Zico, and he just missed it wide. Republic relentless from the first whistle all the way to the end here tonight. Cam, this could easily be 6 or 7 goals tonight. You have 2 hit the crossbar, another hit the post. I mean, what is going on here in Sacramento?
I mean, what a ball that is in from LaGrassa, and Keko does everything right and just smashes that post. I think it's still shaking right now. Really, really unlucky, and again, it's just been a great performance in the final third from the Republic, and it's been really, really shocking from Louisville. The amount of turnovers that have led to great chances for the Republic, it's just something you're not used to seeing from such a good team.
Luther Archimed giving a bit of chase. Mistake again. Gurr jumping on it. Jack Gurr looking for a seam. Has it poked up from behind. Oh, there's a penalty late. Jack Gurr is tripped up. And now Sacramento has an opportunity to put a 5 spot up on the board.
It looked like Jack Gurr is kind of lost that ball there, and I think it was the contact coming from in front of him by Dia, I believe it was.
That's tough. That's going to be quite close. Dia put a leg out there, but he didn't have control of the ball. That's
really harsh. That's really harsh. And I think if you're Louisville, you have good reason to be upset about that one. Fortunately, it's not going to change the outcome of this match. If this was a tied game in the 90th, I think we'd have I think the Louisville bench would be rioting right now. But ultimately, it is what it is. That's the beauty of the USL is you kind of got to deal with the ups and downs sometimes, and now a great opportunity to make it 5, as you said.
Here's Keko, came in as a sub early in this match for Sebastian Herrera. Has an assist already to Cicerone in the 27th minute. And now looking for a goal tonight. And it's 5-0 Sacramento as Keko puts home the penalty kick. And what a performance by the Republic here tonight in week 4.
What a way to cap it off, Keko. Brilliant showing from him. Coming in, not expecting to get as many minutes as he has, but what an impact he's had. And spoke about his composure. Cool, composed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Caps off a magnificent night here in Sacramento.
Again, it's so tough coming into a game so early when you don't expect to, and that mental switch that you have to have, and he's been brilliant since he stepped on the field and has really made a huge difference in this game. And so hats off to him. Unbelievable performance all around, but when you add in that caveat of being forced in from that injury, really, really impressive.
Another thing you gotta look at here is these players who've come in as substitutes, and they've performed really well. This is making Mark Briggs' job really hard to pick an 11. You're probably not making chances at this point in time, but it's still a long season. A lot of guys making cases. Ball lofted deep, and this will go just a bit too far and out of play.
The referee can blow his whistle, huh? I think.
So 2 minutes of stoppage time into this match here, but Jack Gurr late, picking up a penalty. Mauro Dia putting out the knee there, but a little bit close either way, and Republic make it 5 goals on the night and still likely to earn the shutout here. As there's the kick, and Ricardo Fierro, maybe you're ready to blow this whistle here. As Gurr will put it forward for Luther Archimed. Now the Republic just never letting off the gas pedal all night. There's the final whistle. Sacramento remains unbeaten. 4 weeks in, a 5-goal performance, 3 wins, 1 draw on the season. Just absolute brilliance. And Mark Briggs, the winningest coach in Republic history, 41st win as the manager of this club. Cameron, start with you quickly. I mean, we haven't seen a performance like this by Sacramento in a long time.
I mean, it's been a really long time. Certainly, every game this season, it's not for lack of chances. That's the thing that's exciting, is the team has been creating chances consistently, and finally you get to the point where they're putting them away.
There's your man of the match right there, Russell Cicerone. 2 goals. He was involved all night. It could have been several. Jack Gurr, brilliant night. Roro, Keko came in. The clean sheet, back line. But Cicerone, he's going to be a fan's favorite, and he's got off to a brilliant start to this season.
Tell you what, they looked a little up and down, maybe not Republic style, but emphatic 5-0 win. You'll take it. They scored 3 goals in the first 3 weeks, 5 here tonight, 8 goals now on the season. Sacramento, Louisville, it's the Republic who end this one on top. Of your highlights and stats coming up next.
The fun has begun. The Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino is now Northern California's premier family fun destination. Get your heart racing on this spectacular 3-level indoor kart track. If bowling is up your alley, there are 18 lanes of fun at the Apex, plus a mind-blowing virtual reality arcade, incredible golf simulators, and one of the best sports bars anywhere. We're taking entertainment to a whole new level. It's the Apex at Red Hawk Resort Casino.
This is the look of a boy who had no hope of walking. A boy who had his spine rebuilt before he was born. A boy who now stays on his feet and keeps mom on her toes. UC Davis Health. From the extraordinary to the routine, we're discovering healthy and changing real people's lives right here in the Sacramento region. UC Davis Health. Discovering healthy.
Well, a dousing for Mark Briggs after the team celebrating his 41st victory, most all-time. The Republic head coach has done quite a performance. 5 goals tonight. Last time we saw that league play, 2019, 6-0 win against Tulsa.
I think I was there for that one.
I think you were there for that one. So it doesn't happen
rare.
often, but it happens. So let's take a look at what happened here early on. Sacramento, they felt the pressure from Louisville, but they felt there were some opportunities in the counter.
We saw a lot of this. Right-hand side, Jack Gurr, what a ball in. Sebastian Herrera, Knight was cut short, but highly involved in that one. And hopefully it's not too long that he's out. But Luis Felipe, 2 goals, 2 weeks.
Keep that up. Keeping it going here. Mark Briggs and the coaching staff all pumped up. They'd be even more excited over this. The hustle from Russell Cicerone to get to that ball and then keep it in play. And here we go again. Republic just continue to make runs in the box. Gurr jumps all over it, and now it's 2-0 early on.
Yeah, sometimes you take some fortunate bounces, and this time it was in the Republic's favor, and Jack Gurr, the one that cleans it up and gets the reward.
That was a great finish by him.
And for Sacramento, you felt it again. Keko now just gets it on the edge, and he finds a way.
Good run, great ball in by Keko, and it is, Cam mentioned it in the broadcast, what a run. Cicerone, he's in front of the defender, gets to that near post, and then to execute with the left foot.
And you see here, this is kind of the story of the night. Louisville City making mistakes and really hurt themselves. And Russell Cicerone with an absolutely cheeky finish. And once that one went in, that game was pretty much put to bed.
And then a late penalty that earned a Keko penalty kick. Jack Urban questionable, but either way. So 5 goals for Sacramento tonight. And that's including 2 that hit the crossbar that had really good looks, and one, the Keko hitting the post. So the opportunities were aplenty for Sacramento. Let's take a look at how many there were, because of this stats here, you just see where early on at the half, we didn't feel like there was a lot of shots happening, but they really started to tick up. Louisville opened up the game even further, and Sacramento putting up 20 shots on the night. I think Mark Briggs kind of felt like the offense would really shine tonight, and sometimes you need that part of it to show up, and other times defensively, right?
Well, to me, a lot to be excited about, because you see the final score and it's 5-0, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the Republic played a great match. A lot of mistakes to be cleaned up, but they were absolutely clinical in front of goal. And as you said, it could have been even more clinical. It could have been 7, 8, even 9, and just an all-around great performance.
So Sacramento will head to Texas with a perfect unbeaten record, as they have a Open Cup match, however, before that, right here at home. Get tickets for the Crossfire, and should be a start of hopefully another really good run, the U.S. Open Cup. But we looked at the championship schedule here at San Antonio, and then Colorado Springs switchbacks right in the hunt, and then Detroit and Tulsa. So it's not going to get any easier for Sacramento. They got to continue these types of performances if they want to stay atop the table, as San Antonio's keeping pace.
Yeah, nothing's won 4 games into the year, so great start. Don't rest on your laurels. You got to keep going out there working hard, and I know Mark Briggs, he won't be getting complacent. He'll be making sure everyone's doing what needs to be done, and this is a power image of the match. Luis Felipe, ice in his veins. Look at that. Once again, not much emotion coming from the face of him. He likes to keep that.
That's 2 for 2 in power image of the match, though.
Yeah. Well, I think there's still ice in his hair because he's got those frosted tips, right?
Frosted tips, I hope so. They'll hope those come back. Those were
I'm
going to
get them if they do come back.
So Sacramento winning in a big way here. Thanks for tuning in tonight. All kinds of goals. 5. Felipe, Gurr, Cicerone, and Keko getting in on the party tonight. It was a fun one. Thanks for tuning in for our entire crew here in Sacramento. For Cameron Wassa and Adam Moffitt, I'm Rob McAllister. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week from San Antonio.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.